Hey everyone, Travis here with Did It Yourself Strength Training. Just wanted to put another video together for everyone and go over some updates, some really good updates that I did to my Jim Wendler 531 workout spreadsheets. This video might get a little long, but be sure to just watch the entire thing because I'm going to go through the changes I made, and I think they're going to be I think you're going to like them. It's going to make things a little easier for you and everything. The one thing you want to do after you download the spreadsheet, you're going to notice that it is a template file. The reason I made it a template file is because it's going to give you a master file that you cannot accidentally mess up. I messed up some in the past and couldn't find the original one again or the website or whatever and was screwed. So that's why I did that. After you open it, the first thing you're going to want to do is save it. And the reason I say that is, actually I'll explain that here in a little bit, but go ahead and save it as your name, the workout, and the start date. So when you get in here, you'll see the version updates right here. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but a few things I did. I deleted the rounding versions, and I had 4 versions before, and now I only have 2 that don't round because the rounding is just unnecessary and it's too much work to update everything. The other thing I did was the assistance work and the days now copy across tabs from the previous tab. You'll see that in a second. And I had some weird calculations that I had to fix, but I don't think that caused any problems in the previous one. The new version will calculate 7 4-week cycles for you. You can see that down here, 7 under these 7 tabs. And all these calculations that I have in here are taken from Jim Wendler's book. So I've only made one minor change that I'll mention here in a second. But other than that, everything is based on his information. The one thing you're going to want to do also is right here, get notified when I update this spreadsheet. Click that, go sign up on my list, and I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to send you offers. I'm not going to send you a bunch of crap or anything like that. The only time I'll email you on that list is if I update this spreadsheet. I may combine this with the 5x5 spreadsheet, but it's only going to be spreadsheet related, so don't worry about that. The other thing too is go get Jim Wendler's book if you don't have it, his 531. He has the basic one and then the powerlifting one also. I would recommend actually both of them. If you use my link, I might make 50 cents or something like that, but I may not, I don't know. But anyways, if you don't want to use it, then I don't care. Just go get it. Other than that, read this entire Destructions tab. Go through it thoroughly. The one area I do want to point out, the one modification that I did make is right here, and that's in week 1. What I did was, it was normally 40, 50, 60 for the warm-up sets in week 1, and I thought that for me, the 60% third set warm-up was a little too close to my first work set, so I modified that to a 40, 47, 55 warm-up for my first 3 sets. That's the only modification I've made. You can fix that if you want, or just go with it. I would say just go with it. So let's take a look at cycle 1 here real quick. This is the main tab that you're going to want to use. Other than this, you won't have to change much of anything. So first off, here's the split that I use, or I used to use. I've changed it a little bit now, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And the one thing you don't want to do is do not change the exercise column, because the way the calculations are set up, it's based on upper body and lower body, and if you change these, if you change squat to bench press, it's going to mess everything up for your bench. What you do want to do, if you want to change the days, and this is what I do, I change the days. And I have this set up to where, as an example, if you change Monday here to just whatever, in cycle 2, it changes it there also. And on and on and on. If you change cycle 2, it'll change cycle 3, and on. Other than that, only change the cells in yellow. So we'll start with going up here, put the cycle date in, your cycle start date, obviously. The assistance increase, I like to sometimes increase my assistance work, and I'll show you how that works here in a second, but we'll put, like, a lot of times I'll just do a 10% increase on my assistance work from week to week. Enter your weights used, obviously, and your reps achieved. If you know your 1 rep max, just enter it. This is one of the exceptions. Just enter it right here. Because of the way this is calculated, if you enter your 1 rep max in here, I'll show you. If we put 225 by 1, it calculates your estimated 1 rep max at 232, and that's just because of the way the calculation works. Nothing's wrong with it. It's just the way it's set up. It's not meant to multiply by 1. And I already mentioned that this does calculate everything for you, so you don't have to do anything with that. If you're going in here, same thing with the assistance. If you change this assistance to something like that, come over to cycle 2, and it updates it there also. Same thing with the weight. If you go in here and put in 25 pounds, over here in cycle 2, it's updated. And then cycle 3 is based on cycle 2, and on and on and on. Another area that is really handy that I like and I put in there is this notes column. The reason I put that in there is because sometimes I will, if I'm hurt, if I'm sick, if my knee is sore or something, and I'm not able to do my entire workout, I'll put little notes in here. Same thing with the assistance work. Sometimes, like Wendler says, the main thing is you want to do your primary exercise, and if you don't feel good, then skip your assistance work. But sometimes if I just feeling 50-50, I'll do 2 sets of 10, or maybe I'll do 4 sets of 8, or something like that, and I'll put that information in the notes column. Another area that you want to check out, and you don't have to use, but it's down here, my off days. I like to do stuff on my off days. You can do whatever you want on those days. I'm not suggesting one way or the other. Okay, well, on the other cycles, like I was saying before, the cycles all calculate based on the previous cycle. One thing I have in here is the 90% 1 rep max, the estimated 1 rep max, weight used, and reps achieved. These are for reference only. Don't change these. These are all based on what your best lift was in the previous cycle. Like I said, that's for reference, and you don't need to mess with that. Nothing is calculated on that for this workout here. All the calculations are taken from the training max, and this training max, like I mentioned before, goes up 10 pounds for lower body exercises and 5 pounds for upper body exercises. And that does that in every tab. You'll see here it goes 20, 30. I'm just looking at the squat one right now. Okay, and real quick, why I said to save this with your name, the workout, and your start date. Let me show you what happens when you print it. This is one reason I created these also, is because a lot of the spreadsheets they didn't print properly. It was just a nightmare. So I'd set this up, and the way I have it set up on this landscape version is the off days print on the back. I do 2-sided printing because I did this on 2 pages. You can just print the first page if you want, but we'll preview it real quick here. If you notice, it prints out the main workout really nice on 1 page. I fold this up into like 4 pieces and roll it up, and it works out really well. Just carry it around with me. But the one thing too, here's the reason why you want to name it with the start date and all of that, because it actually puts that in the bottom for you. So if you have a pile of these in your locker at the gym like I do, you can go back at different times and say, oh look, okay, there's that date that I started this one. Here's the weights I was using. Here's some notes that I was taking, things like that. What I do normally though is I bring those back with me at the end of the week, and I enter those all in my spreadsheets, and then I also put those on my blog. And that's it. So I hope you guys really like these spreadsheets. I know they work really, really well for me. If you have any questions, if you're on YouTube or my website or wherever you're seeing this, leave me a question below. Feel free to ask me whatever you can, or give me any suggestions for anything better, anything I can do. If I made any mistakes anywhere, if you see any errors, let me know so I can update it. And don't forget to sign up for updates. That's a big one. Sign up for updates. Get Jim Wendler's book. Visit my Facebook page. Visit my website. I'm trying to update that as much as possible and put as much information out there for everyone as possible also. And with that said, I will talk to you soon.